Hi, Caviar Tabletop Upgrades, and this is improvements for July week 1. First of all, targeting the horror show that is my accounting paperwork. I've come to reconcile my Xero online accounting software, and I've been faced with a huge wodge of receipts because I've been busy improving manufacturing and merrily ignoring all the boring accounting stuff, so this needs to be taken in hand. I've got a one-piece flow all the accounting paperwork from now on, and I'll get set up and I'll show you an after of how I'm going to do it. So I've solved the receipt sadness. My problem is when I get a receipt there's a delay before it gets logged into Xero, my accounting software. So now I've just got this two process. Whenever I get a receipt, chuck it in there, then once a week basically all I do is scan the receipt. Once the receipt's ready, give it a stamp, and that gets filed in the appropriate month. Now I'm still working through a few old receipts, but that's done. It gets chucked in there, and once a year the entire thing will just be consolidated into a folder, and I'll keep that for the 6 years that HMRC want you to keep your stuff for. So there we go, that's a much better solution and a big weight off my mind. This is the corner where the laser cutter lives, and for the occasional job I use the laptop, which is hooked via this cable. So I've got messy cable under there, I've got a USB cable which I've got magnetised to this pillar, and it connects up to the laser cutter, and I have to turn around, and it's really inconvenient. The other week I managed to pick up this car boot sale monitor, or yard sale monitor, £5, bargain. I mounted it up there, and I was going to buy a computer to mount behind it, but instead I'm going to put a keyboard monitor, a keyboard mount underneath there. This is an internet extender, Wi-Fi extender, that allows me to have internet in the workshop finally, just before I get the cable in, which is turns out to be a bit of a bigger job than I thought. So this will give me decent internet in the meantime. So this is what the new setup looks like. I've had to remount my mask just up here because underneath I have a keyboard and mouse setup, which means I can stand in front of the laser cutter, review my orders, operate the laser cutting software, which means I can call programs directly from keyboard shortcuts from auto hotkey as I did last week, instead of endlessly scrolling through this control. So it allows me to access datum points and all kinds of automation through the computer. So it's a massive upgrade. It's going to save tons of time. And as for the computer, rather than buy a new one, I decided to carry on using my laptop, but I bought this little it's not a docking station, it's just a little stand, but it works as a USB hub, and I can basically operate the computer in clamshell mode. It doesn't overheat, there's plenty of ventilation, and that works really nicely. So massive improvement, and it's already saved a load of time, so really happy. So between cycles I take this front guard off, and it's magnetised, and it just fits down here. Now what usually happens is when I come to empty the waste material out the laser cutter, this thing, and if you can see just down here, doesn't quite stick out properly, and if I pull it out too far it falls off the front. It's a real pain. So what I've done is, would you believe, on the bottom there are some magnets, and now that just pulls out and it won't fall off. So that's a great improvement. Also, it's a good opportunity to show you that the monitor is mounted such that when the screen is open I can access it and I can see what's going on, so that's really useful. And internet in the workshop means that print over Wi-Fi finally works, so I can print things from my phone, which is another huge improvement. Still haven't yet installed all the cable tidies, so I've got a few little bits like that, but it's a work in progress. So it's a big advantage to have print over Wi-Fi. Huge help. And this is a really big improvement. I've moved my shipping station next to the laser cutter, so when I cut it, it can be immediately have the label printed. Now I've got internet in here, and packed and stamped. And I used to have a little problem where this stamp used to slide to the back, so I put a little stop in it so it stops there and I never have to fish it out. I've also used this space now. Instead of holding a pen, it holds these little bags, and it's just perfect. So this whole situation means I don't have to do lots of walking to and from the workshop back to the house, so big improvement. And all these improvements have compounded. I'm actually feeling the difference, so much so I've actually managed to sort out some of my hobby and stuff. So here is a 3D printed case, and I've made some little tokens for the game of Malifaux that I play every Wednesday, and a lot of these little experiments always end up turning into products, so it's a good bit of R&D. And this, I've even managed to find a way of transporting my models safely. So there we are, Malifaux Neverborn crew, and in the end I've got thinned out all of the crap that I take to the gaming sessions, including this little cool device, a laser line of sight finder. All fits nicely in there and gets stashed in the end, so everything gets stored nicely, and it's really satisfying to take the concept of lean and apply it to things outside of work. So I'll see you in the next one.